In the quiet suburban town of Riverview, Officer Mark Daniels and his canine partner Max weren't just a police team. They were legends. Max, a powerful German shepherd, had been by Mark's side for nearly 5 years. Together, they'd tracked fugitives, cracked impossible cases, and saved more lives than anyone could count. But beyond the badge and the flashing lights, Max wasn't just a partner. He was family. It was a crisp, sunlit Sunday morning when Mark and Max rolled out on patrol. The sky was a brilliant blue. A gentle breeze rustled the trees along quiet streets. Max sat proudly in the back of the cruiser, dark eyes sharp and ears twitching at every sound. For a few moments, everything felt perfect. But perfection shattered in an instant. The police radio crackled to life. All units, reports of reckless bikers causing chaos near Riverview Park. Proceed with caution. Mark glanced at Max in the rearview mirror, jaw tightening. All right, Max, looks like we've got work to do. Max let out a sharp bark, as if he understood every word. When they reached Riverview Park, chaos was already in full swing. 6 bikers roared through winding paths, engines screaming like beasts, sending families running and children crying. Picnic tables were overturned. Birds took frantic flight from the trees. Mark slammed the police car into park and jumped out. Max leapt to his side, hackles raised, growling low and deep. "Police! Stop where you are!" But the bikers just laughed. One of them, with wild eyes and a cruel grin, revved his engine and sneered. "What are you gonna do, officer? Think your mutt can stop us?" Mark didn't flinch. His hand hovered near his holster. Max's growl grew louder, rumbling like distant thunder, teeth bared, ready. In a sudden blur of motion, the biker gunned his motorcycle forward, straight for Max. "Max, watch out!" At the last moment, the biker swerved and lashed out with his heavy boot. The kick slammed into Max's side, sending the loyal dog tumbling across the grass, yelping in pain. Mark's heart nearly stopped. "Max!" The bikers roared with laughter as they sped away, leaving behind dust and the acrid smell of burnt rubber. Max staggered to his feet, trembling, eyes full of pain, but still trying to protect his partner. Mark dropped to his knees beside him, voice shaking as he stroked his fur. "Stay down, buddy. I've got you." Minutes later, sirens wailed in the distance. Mark called for backup and for an emergency vet unit. When the paramedics arrived, they gently lifted Max into the ambulance. Even then, Max tried to wag his tail, fighting to stay strong. As the doors closed, Mark felt fury boiling inside him. He pored over every frame of security footage from the park, determined to find the men who hurt Max. The images were grainy, but the insignia on their jackets was clear enough. The Iron Wolves, a notorious biker gang known for stirring up trouble wherever they went. Mark clenched his fists. He knew exactly where they'd be hiding, an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. Before he left, he visited Max at the animal hospital. Max lay on a soft blanket, bandages wrapped around his ribs, his bright eyes dimmed by exhaustion. Mark knelt beside him, speaking softly. "You rest up, partner. I promise, they're gonna pay for what they did." That night, darkness wrapped around Riverview as Mark and his team closed in on the warehouse. Inside, laughter echoed, engines cooled, and glass bottles clinked. Mark took a steady breath. "This is for Max." He signaled the team. The raid was swift and brutal. Officers stormed in, shouting commands. The bikers were caught completely off guard. They scrambled, reaching for weapons or trying to escape. But Mark was a man with fire in his chest. He spotted the leader, the same man who'd kicked Max. Mark lunged, grabbing him by his jacket and slamming him into a rusted steel pillar. His voice trembled with rage. "You think it's funny, hurting an innocent animal?" The biker's cocky grin fell away, eyes wide with fear. I didn't mean—" "Save it." Mark snapped the cuffs on his wrists, breathing hard. By sunrise, all 6 bikers were in custody. Justice was served. But Mark's mind was already at the hospital. A week later, he returned to bring Max home. The vet opened the door, and the moment Max saw Mark, his ears perked up, tail wagging furiously despite the bandages. With a joyful whine, he tried to leap into Mark's arms. "Easy, boy! I told you I'd take care of it!" Max pressed his head into Mark's chest, his loyalty shining bright as ever. Together, they stepped out into the warm sunlight, a team forged in loyalty and resilience. The story of Officer Mark Daniels and Max spread through Riverview like wildfire. People spoke of courage, of justice, and of the unbreakable bond between a man and his dog. Every time Mark looked at Max, he'd say the same words. "They may have hurt you, buddy, but they'll never break us." And Max would wag his tail in perfect agreement. Together, they proved that the bond between a canine and his handler was a force no one could ever defeat, no matter the odds.